Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our channel. In the game of chess, the knight may move by a 2x3 grids, which forms the shape of a letter L. For example, the knight and the board now have 8 options to reach. We label all the positions on the board from 1 to 64. Put the knight in position 2. And move it step by step. Until reach the bottom. Then add up the numbers at all the positions it passes through to get a result. So among all possible routes, what is the minimum value of this summation of adding up these numbers? Why not give a try, and we will come back soon. Let's start by reviewing the 8 options to reach, once the knight is placed in a given position. Obviously, if we move it up, we must move it back down later in order to reach the bottom, so we merely increase the number of steps, potentially enlarge the summation. So it makes no sense to move it up. And we only need to consider the 4 options of moving it down. Form the initial position. We need to add 8 to reach the position of the next row, and add 16 to reach the second row below. So the 4 options that can be reached are adding 6, adding 10, adding 15, and adding 17 respectively. From this point of view, adding 6 should be the best choice. But please don't forget, our goal is to go all the way down to the bottom. Adding 6 just helped to go down for 1 row, while adding 15 helped to go down for 2 rows. In addition, if going down for another row from the position of adding 6, it is not simply adding 6, but adding itself first, then adding 6 again. And the result will become very large. So, the optimal strategy is then to go down left, to the position of adding 15. And the second best strategy is to go down right, to the position of adding 17. So we move down for 2 rows within 1 step. If the total amount of rows to go through is an even number, the question will be very straightforward and simple. However, unfortunately from the position 2 to the bottom row, a total of 7 rows are taken, which is an odd number. That is to say, there must be a step where we only move the figure for 1 row. This brings another challenge. When should we take this step of moving 1 row? For example, if we want to go from the position 29, down 3 rows, and reach the position 54, should we go 2 rows first, then 1 row, and pass the position of 44? Or should we go 1 row first, then go 2 rows and pass the position 39? Obviously, taking smaller step first will yield a smaller result. The underlying reasoning is this. We need at least 4 steps to reach the bottom, including a total of 3 steps for 2 rows each, and 1 step for 1 row. First of all, we should not take more than 4 steps, as that would bring more number to add up. When we decide to take 4 steps in total, we should try our best from the very beginning, to pass the number as small as possible. So we had better select the step of 1 row as the first step. This reasoning is a little abstract, and it is not very easy to understand for most of the students from the 5th grade. The easier way to understand it is to check it out from examples. We always start from position 2. And perhaps let's first try the locally optimal strategy first. So we reach position 17. We have already reached the far left, so for the next step we need to select the second best strategy, which points to position 34. Then down to the left, to the optimal position 49. And finally 1 step, we can only go down for 1 row, to the only reachable position 59. Adding them up, the result is 161. Actually for the last 2 steps, we can also go to 51, and then go to 57. The result remains unchanged. What can really make it different is to take the step of 1 row a little earlier. For example, after the 34, we move it to 44, and then to 59. And the result becomes 156, which is really smaller. Now, let's take this step of 1 row at the very beginning. From position 2. Of course, the only option is 12. Then we always take the best choice, take 27, 42, and go all the way to 57. The result becomes 140. This is the minimal result. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.